All right, well, good afternoon. I'm Snider. I'm serving as state president this year for Ohio FFA. I grew up on a beef cattle farm in southern Ohio, and so growing up with cattle, I always loved anything that had to do with cows. However, that was when I was just riding along with my dad in the gator through the field, or maybe just feeding the cows some apples over the fence. I still remember the day that my dad came and told my twin sister, Carly, and I that he wanted us to help him castrate a handful of bull calves. Now, as a 14-year-old girl who only weighed about 100 pounds, helping my dad catch some calves and actually castrating them wasn't at the top of my priority list. But my sister and I went out to the field, we helped my dad catch some calves, and we each took turns castrating 4 bull calves out of our family's herd. I still remember going to school the very next day and telling people what I had done. Now, some of my classmates were absolutely horrified. Some of them were really, really confused. And some of them understood exactly why I was so proud that I had helped my dad that day. Agriculture is something that I've been a part of since I can remember. And when I became actively involved with work on the farm, that is something that I will always treasure. When my sister and I were 8 years old, we joined our first 4-H club, and as freshmen in high school, we joined the Felicity Franklin FFA chapter. And through these 2 organizations, we were able to raise market goats and market hogs during the spring and summer months, and then we would show these animals and sell them at our county fair and use the money that we earned to start all over the very next year. And as I mentioned, my family raises beef cattle year-round, and so by my sophomore year of high school, I was the proud owner of 2 cows in my family's herd. And with my involvement with these animals, I have done everything from helping castrate calves, I've helped breed our cows, deliver calves, administered medication, I've helped load, unload more animals than I can probably count, and I've helped, I've developed a shield against any odors that cattle, goats, pigs, and you all know the odors that they produce. I've developed quite a shield against them. But it's not really what I've done that really stands out to me. It's kind of the things that I've gained over the past 11 years of being actively involved with agriculture that makes all of those experiences what they really are. Now, you heard Mr. Honeycutt talk about supervised agricultural experiences, or SAEs. It's through these projects that students enrolled in agricultural education classes and FFA are able to foster that closer connection to agriculture. And it's through these SAEs that we are able to become actively involved with some component of the agriculture industry. As I've traveled around the state of Ohio this year, I've met several members who just have a variety of SAEs that have allowed them to find their own niche within our industry. One of my fellow state officers worked at a local radio station for his SAE, where he would provide daily farm reports Monday through Friday for 2.5 years. And because of his work at the radio station, he's actually currently a national finalist in the agricultural communication proficiency area. I have a really good friend who grew up on a dairy farm in northern Ohio, and this past summer I visited her family's farm for the very first time. And of course, I come from beef cattle, so dairy cattle is a very different spectrum than I'm used to. And so while I was there, she woke up at 4 a.m. to go milk the cows. And when I woke up at like 9, I asked her if she enjoyed that, and she said, of course. Milking cows has been something she's done alongside her parents all her life, and she said she would not trade a single thing. FFA members from all over Ohio and our nation love every minute that they get to be immersed within agriculture. If you're all familiar with the social media site Instagram, where you get to post pictures, I follow a lot of students who are constantly posting about their work on the farm, their animals, or just their immense love for our industry. You can see a lot of their pictures on the screen. If you can't read them, the one in the middle, it says, "No apology necessary for all of the harvest pictures I've been posting. How can you not absolutely love this time of the year?" And I think that sums it up pretty good of how youth feel about this industry. And the experiences that we're able to gain from our active involvement with agriculture really help us develop that passion and respect for this industry. And it's these hands-on experiences that make all the difference, because we can learn a lot in the classroom, but it's when we actually get to apply that knowledge that allows us to really enhance on that education that we've received. And the great thing is that at the age of 13 or 14 years old, we're already beginning to learn safe practices and procedures, and then we're able to further that knowledge when we begin our work within agriculture on a first-hand basis. And these experiences that youth gain allow us to, foster new skills and lessons. as well as begin to develop a passion for the industry and, again, expand on our knowledge. Now, one of the most important lessons that I've learned from my involvement with agriculture is the true meaning of responsibility. From my 11 or so years of being actively involved with agriculture, I've learned that responsibility means staying up until like 6 a.m. with a sick calf, not caring that you are going to get very dirty, having to say no to hanging out with that cute boy on a Friday night because your cow's due to have her first calf, and just absolutely loving every minute that you're immersed within this industry. I have to say that I owe every bit of the work ethic, personal responsibility, and dedication that I have to my involvement with agriculture. If it wasn't for every moment that I've spent caring and working with my animals, then I definitely wouldn't have the passion for this industry that I do, and I'm sure that I wouldn't be here speaking with each of you. It's because of all of that, my involvement with 4-H, my involvement with FFA, and of course our industry, that I'm currently an agricultural communication major at The Ohio State University. My hope is that I will be able to continue to be actively involved with our industry and communicate to others what farmers, ranchers, and agriculturalists do every single day. These experiences are what have made a true difference in my life. And now most of the things that I've gained from agriculture are non-tangible. However, through our SAEs and work on farms, we're able to have some financial gains as well. But through these experiences, the most important things that I would say would be that we've been able to, have a better understanding of responsibility, time management, working well with others, develop that passion for our industry, and respect for those who have dedicated their lives to it, and just really fostering that closer connection to agriculture, the industry that feeds and clothes us all. But back to the financial gains that we are able to have. Personally, I have earned over $8,000 from my investments within my agricultural, my SAE projects. And those earnings are how I've been planning to pay for my college education. In FFA, we have 4 different degrees that you're able to earn. In 2012, I earned the highest degree that a state can bestow upon its members, the state FFA degree. Now, in order to receive this degree, a student must have completed at least 360 hours of classroom instruction, and they must have productively earned and invested at least $1,000 or have worked 300 hours outside of classroom instruction. On Saturday, I will earn the highest degree that our organization can give to its members, the American FFA degree. Now, in order to receive this degree, a student has to have had completed at least 540 hours of classroom instruction and earned and productively invested at least $7,500 or earned and invested at least $1,500 and worked 2,250 hours outside of the classroom. Our SAEs are preparing us for future career success. We are not kids involved in agriculture. We are youth engaged with an industry that we care very much for. I once heard an FFA advisor say that students in agricultural education classes are some of the most well-rounded, mature, and respectful teens that you'll ever meet. And I honestly believe it's because of our involvement with some component of agriculture that's allowed us to capture that positive view. Today's youth in agriculture will be the ones that will be sitting in your seats in future years. Their safe and active involvement in this industry is what will lead them to be the leaders of agriculture. So thank you very much for allowing me the chance to speak on behalf of youth involved with agriculture, and we are excited to continue to be engaged with America's #1 industry and to be actively and safely involved with the industry that we care very much for. Thank you all.